Broody Man and the Lighthouse. So, this little adventurous and exciting story is about a small town boy Krishna and his close friend who help Broody overcome his strong urge for revenge and how they bring a change in him. Let's read. It's about doing a good deed. Have you done yours today? Let's read on. Chapter 1. Sunny Skies and Twinkling Stars. The sweet little village of Candy Isle was an authentic old fishing harbor surrounded by cliffs that protected it from strong winds. Children in the village giggled as they played around palm trees, made sand castles, and sipped on sweet coconut water. Days were filled with simple joy, and they resonated pure chuckles. Most villagers were deep sea fishers, and they worked very hard to bring home some food every day. They lived happily together in the village. There was only one school in the village, in a serene location under a few big trumpet trees by the sea. The kids loved going to school. They learned about math, science, and languages. They even learned about sharing, caring, and helping. The teachers were kind and very friendly. They learned some interesting experiments. The children dreamt of flying cars and water buses. They would learn about universes and galaxies, and they gazed at the night sky mesmerized by the stars. Their dreams kept them happy and curious. The village was a happy little place, except the village had a big secret. There was one place that was mysterious. One place all children could always see from far, but no one went close to it. The lighthouse. The villagers had only one rule. No one would ever be allowed to go to the lighthouse. That's where the apparent danger prevailed. Can you see the lighthouse? Yes, that's where. Let's see the next chapter. Isolated lighthouse. But Mama, why can't I go to the lighthouse ever? Asked the 8-year-old Krishna with a frown on his face. Krishna was a smart, brave boy with a curious mind. Caring and helpful by nature, he enjoyed a special place in his friend's heart. It's very dangerous out there, Krishna. I have told you many times you cannot go there. Broody lives there. He's an evil man who does not like happy people. We can never go to the lighthouse. Krishna was disappointed. Why couldn't he just see the beautiful lighthouse? Only once from inside. And what was Broody's problem anyway? Why was everyone so afraid of him? Krishna's mind was racing. With so many questions in his mind, he wandered to his friend's house. What's wrong, Krishna? Asked 7-year-old Shaina, looking worried for him. Shaina was Krishna's best friend, an articulate little girl who was the apple of everyone's eye in the village. They both loved adventures and secretly dreamt of going to the lighthouse someday together. I want to go to the lighthouse, and I don't want to be afraid of Broody Man anymore, said Krishna with a pout. Broody Man visited the village on every full moon night to get some food and supplies. People were scared of his dark mustache. Shopkeepers were terrified when they came to their shop. It was a gigantic man with eerie scars on his hands. He wore some crummy clothes and walked around like a colossal bear. The villagers, they thought of him being selfish and hateful. He did not like happy people, especially small children. People locked their doors and windows on every full moon night, scared that he will hurt them. Broody lived alone in the lighthouse, while the villagers had their settlements far from it. They warned their little ones to never talk about the lighthouse. That's Krishna for you all. The brave plan. It was going to be a full moon night soon. Krishna kept thinking of Broody Man all day long at school. He wanted to stop Broody from terrifying the villagers somehow. After all, he loved his village and their friends. And everyone was so happy there. But they had this big fear. Broody had no right to ruin this for them. This had to stop somehow. The helpful side of Krishna wanted to bring out the change, but he knew he could not do it all alone. China, he whispered, as they packed their bags for school. Let's follow Broody Man today and find a way to go to the lighthouse. We have to help our village and stop the Broody Man from scaring everyone. Krishna, our parents will be very angry if we do that. They will also worry about us if we come back home late. What is your plan? Shaina said in a concerned tone. Krishna whispered a plan in her ears and she just smiled. The adventure was about to begin. The full moon night. Krishna and Shaina walked through the busy market streets of the village. The villagers were looking grim and worried. After all, it was full moon night and it was the evening Broody Man would be visiting them. Mothers were rushing home with their little children and the air was filled with a certain chill. Suddenly, they heard some hustle on the streets. Everyone was running home and in just few minutes, the busy market streets became rather quiet. Shaina and Krishna hid behind a big pillar and peeked in to see what was happening. Are you scared? Shaina whispered. Maybe a little, said Krishna sheepishly. He then stood up tall and said, But I'm really curious too. I can't wait to see Broody Man today. Do you remember our plan well? Yes, I do, assured Shaina, as she gave Krishna a big high five. Broody Man for all. Ooh. Broody Man was taller than they had ever imagined. His face was long and he had thick beard that covered most of it. He wore shabby long shirt with rugged pants and toned shoes. He seemed lumpish and walked like a monster. It seemed like he had no shower for weeks. His face was gruesome and he had probably not even smiled in a long while. Shaina and Krishna looked from a distance and they walked up to Uncle Winnie's store. Poor uncle, thought Krishna. He had no choice but to keep the grocery store open for Broody. The whole village remembered the one time that Winnie uncle had kept the store closed and Broody Man broke open, causing a lot of damage. Since then, Winnie uncle never took a chance. Broody took his supplies and started walking back towards the lighthouse. Just then he heard someone's laughter. The giggles were coming from Krishna's yard. It was Kabir and Ishan. They had run out of their front yard while they were playing with each other, despite their mother's warning. Broody heard the laughter and stopped walking. He turned around and looked at the little boys.
Oh, it was me and Broody.
Yes, with stern face.
I was also wearing those clothes.
Sure.
Yeah, I was also a monster.
You know, you were a little boy. He walked slowly towards the boys, who were standing in fright. There, an eerie silence as Broody walked towards the front yard. Don't laugh. Never laugh. Nobody should ever laugh or smile or be happy in this village, or I shall come for you. Do you understand? I will make you miserable, he growled loudly. The whole market street shuddered with that sound. The boys started crying while their mothers came running to rescue them and picked them up and took them inside the house. Shaina and Krishna could not believe. The cold shudder almost shook everyone. Broody had scrimped at their little brothers, the most adorable little toddlers in town. Their innocent laughs and giggles, just like the other kids, the sweetest music of the town. Krishna and Shaina were now determined to find out the mystery behind Broody Man's content. Why was Broody Man so gloomy after all? Shaina's secret. The sun was about to set. The Broody Man walked towards the beach and returned to the lighthouse. Krishna and Shaina carefully continued following Broody Man. They managed to keep safe distance so that he wouldn't be suspicious. When Broody was about to climb the hill, Krishna made his move. He looked at Shaina and signaled her thumbs up and headed towards the water. He jumped in the water and started to pretend as if he didn't know how to swim. The water was deep, but there was something that kept him safe, very safe. Shaina, sorry. Shaina had secret magical powers. She had kept the secret close to her heart and never told anyone about it except for her best friend Krishna. Her powers allowed her to keep any person from dangers, but only worked on full moon night. It was perfect, and it was an full moon night indeed. As Krishna went deeper into the water, her powers kept him really safe, ensuring that nothing would ever happen to him. He started calling out for help frantically to get Brody's attention. Broody man then heard the screams and turned towards the tides. Krishna kept at it and Shaina worked with her magic powers. Broody man did not move but blatantly stared. Krishna was getting worried that the plan was not working, but determined he did not stop and kept shouting for help. Finally, after a few minutes of no action from Broody man, there was a change of heart. Krishna's brave plan had worked. Broody man ran to Krishna to bring him out of the water, out onto sand. He picked Krishna up and put him on the sand bed carefully. He squeezed the water out from his stomach and patted his back. He ensured Krishna was all right. This side of Broody man, Krishna and Shaina thought they would never notice. Broody man started walking off once he knew Krishna was okay. I want to thank you, Broody man, and I know deep within you're a good person at heart. I am not, grunted Broody. But yes, you are. I know because you came to help me when I was drowning. That is what good people do. I want to be your friend. I want to talk to you. I want to know you better. I want to know why you are always so sad and angry. Why do you live alone in the lighthouse? Krishna probed innocently. Shaina walked towards behind the tree and smiled at both. Broody man sat down. He was quiet for some time. Krishna and Shaina didn't know what to expect next. He finally decided to break the silence. In all these years, everyone was only afraid of me. No one wanted to be my friend. I am speechless and touched that you came all the way to befriend me. I'm telling you my little story. His name was Broody. He was a soft-hearted and a cheerful kid from the neighboring village, who unfortunately orphaned during his childhood. He tried his best to make friends. He kept everyone happy, but no one seemed to care, little one. His name was Broody. He was a soft-hearted and cheerful kid from the neighboring village, who was unfortunately orphaned during his childhood. He tried his best to make friends and keep everyone happy, but no one seemed to care about the 7-year-old Broody. One day, some boys invited him to a boat ride on the sea. Broody was thrilled that he had made friends finally. As he sailed, a little one of the boys pushed him off the boat. Broody struggled to get back on the boat, but his friends laughed and giggled. None of them came to his rescue. He didn't know how to swim. He toiled to stay afloat. A fisherman fishing nearby saw what happened and came for Broody's help. The villagers condemned this act of young boys and punished them. But Broody had lost faith in his friends. He decided never ever to talk to anyone. Every time he heard laughs and giggles, they made him furious and reminded him of the ordeal. He moved away from people in the lighthouse when no one would come. He grew up without any more of his friends and was aloof most of the time. This is why I am the way I am. I guess no one will ever understand me or like me. He got up and started walking away. Krishna and Shaina quickly got up and walked towards him. Broody, what a wonderful name you have. I would love to have you as my friend. Will you be my friend? Shaina said. This is Shaina for you. I feel the same. You are a good man and I want to invite you to come and live in our village. We have some wonderful friends and family here. And we will be by your side always. The villagers will be happy to see you too. Broody couldn't believe this. People could be so nice. They hugged each other and he said, I promise I will give it a try. But first you have a laundry list, Broody. You have to take a shower and the beard has to go. Cut your hair and nails. Come, we will help you do all of that and buy you some new clothes and shoes. Friends, you're right. I must first clean up. I feel good now and I want to look at my best to greet the villagers. Why don't you go home now and meet me tomorrow at the same place? Sounds like a plan. We will take you to the village tomorrow morning, said Krishna with a wide smile. When Krishna and Shaina returned home, they first were worried about their family and angry parents. They told them the whole story. The word spread like a wildfire. After hearing what happened, their parents forgave them and felt really proud of this heroic act. Krishna tossed and turned in his bed all night. He couldn't sleep. He kept thinking of Buddhi. He wanted it to be morning soon so he could greet Buddhi with his entire village. He wanted it to be so special. He felt happy and excited about this new friend. He also felt proud of himself and for Shaina for undertaking such bravery. Next morning was a beautiful sunny day. The tropical flowers were in full bloom, with some soft warm breeze blowing. The villagers had decided to come to greet Buddhi each. As they chattered and they waited, a tall, young, handsome man walked towards from the lighthouse. He was wearing a crisp white shirt and blue sacks. His hair was short, blowing softly in the breeze. His face was vibrant, and he wore the most beautiful smile. Buddhi, here you are. I can't believe it's you. Thank you, my friends. The villagers came to greet him. There were smiles and handshakes and hugs, and tears of joy in the eyes when they all greeted each other. After all, happiness is the most important thing in the world. Krishna, Shaina and Buddhi chased some butterflies and on their way back home. A perfect new story had begun. This is how Buddhi looked. So have you done your good deed for the day and helped someone who has no friends, made friends with them or helped them in whatever way they needed? Tell me, how did you like the story? Thank you.